The organisation itself is just a name, but the idea behind the organisation is quite simple. My father was a plumber. We're in Belfast, the home of the Titanic, big industries in the past, and people made a lot of living from using their hands, using tools, earning an income, developing the whole city. That's a universal trade or universal thing that people need to develop as tools. And one of the things that came across when I was thinking about the idea behind it is that if people aren't using tools here and people in Africa or people in other countries don't have them, then why are we throwing them out? Why not collect them, fix them up and send them out so that people in other countries can use them? And that's really the idea behind the organisation. It's to collect tools that people no longer use. Here we're loading some sewing machines, but it's hammers, chisels, planes. We fix them up and then we send them out to Tanzania, Uganda and some other countries. In the last 3 years, we've been going for quite a while. We've been working for about 25 years, from small garages, and now we've got a permanent workshop with 6 or 7 international volunteers. In the last 3 years, we've developed a partnership in Tanzania, and we've set up a centre there to do the work that we would normally do here. And it's a centre involving sewing machines, knitting machines, and material and support. One of the things that we found is that we could send a kit of tools to Tanzania. Brilliant, really great. But we couldn't do any much more than that. Now with the centre we can do training, we can do other work. So this is now our 5th container. We've sent 5 containers in the last, or 4, this is the 5th one, in the last 3 years, which is a tremendous achievement for such a small organisation. And that means that up to 1,200 women, primarily women, have now access to a sewing machine, training, and additional support that we can provide. This shipment here is going to Tanzania. It's going to Mwanza, which is on the Lake Zone region, just below Lake Victoria. And we've got as I say, we've got a centre there with a manager and 2 mechanics. There are 350 sewing machines in here. We have some machinery, we have knitting machines, we have treadles, we have a lot of material as well. And this container will go, hopefully arrive in January, and these machines will be refurbished in the country and then supplied to women's groups, people with disabilities, and some male groups as well, for them to generate their own income. So it's going as an economic activity. They're going to use the machines to generate some income for themselves. If it wasn't for the volunteers, there wouldn't be any work. It's quite as simple as that. The volunteers are critical to the organisation. There are only 2 local, what I call people from Belfast, involved. It's myself and my brother. He's got a small workshop in Downpatrick. There's very little local involvement in terms of running. We get a lot of local support. We get a huge amount of local support. But in terms of getting them sewing machines ready, filling the container, we rely very much on international volunteers. And these volunteers come for 1 year. They come, they do a lot of work, and this is the end result. And if it wasn't for the international volunteers, the organisation couldn't function. The organisation has 3 basic aims. One is to provide an opportunity for people to come in and volunteer. Now those people could be international volunteers, but it's also to give people an opportunity to come in who maybe don't have that opportunity in Northern Ireland.
So where are you from?
Germany, from south of Germany.
And why do you volunteer for Tools for Solidarity?
I want to make a volunteer year after my school, so I look around what's going on and where I have the possibility to go. And tours was a great option. And I can not only have one country, I can have two countries as well. So perfect. We're working on the shipment, and we must finish a box of shuttle machines because we have a lot of space left, and we don't want to waste the space because the shipment costs a lot of money. So we try to fill the container with the shuttle machines. They are already done. So yes, we must prepare it because we can't send something like that because it goes destroyed.
The idea behind the project is that we'll supply sewing machines, but in a self-financing way, that we can't provide the money. There's nobody paid in the organisation, so we struggle to get the funds. So when we set up a project like the one in Tanzania, the idea is to make it long-term sustainable by giving them financial control. And the only financial control that we can give is to give them the sewing machines that they can sell to the groups at a very low price so that they can recover the cost and pay for the programs. It's working extremely well, very popular, high demand for the project. So we're going to continue that for the next 3 years. Having said that, we have a lot of tools and we have a lot of ideas for developing new projects in the future. We're looking at maybe a tool centre, maybe another sewing machine centre. The difficulty with all of this is the capacity of the organisation to develop these ideas. We need more local people involved. Ultimately, the international volunteers can come and help, but after a year they leave. So we need more local volunteers to come involved and give us more stability.
I come from France.
How long have you been in Belfast and how long have you been working for tools?
I have been here for 2 years, more or less. I have came in Belfast to work with Tool for Solidarity.
Okay. What are you doing now?
So I am repairing one industrial machine. We will go to the container. So just to finish, where I am checking the machine, do a few refurbishment in the machine.
And how many machines would you go through a day?
It depends of the machine and the problem. That is a little bit special because it's the big industrial machine, so a little bit more of preparation. But it depends of the machine.
Okay, the machine looks old. Is that typical?
We have all range of machine, from the domestic machine to the industrial. Some are very old. We got some machines who are more of 100 years old. Some more modern, electrical machine, embroidery machine, every kind of range of machine.
In the workshop, each person cooks every day, and we cook. So today was my turn, and I cooked lunch, and now the table is ready, everything is ready at the moment, and the food is waiting for the people. When you feel that you help some people in the overseas, and it's a great feeling. I'm so happy to join this organization and to work in this organization.
It's a great place to come and learn new skills, take those skills back and then use them. I mean, as I always say to the international volunteers, it's an opportunity to learn how to do things. We had an Italian volunteer, sharpened chisels, went back, sharpened her father's chisels. People could help by collecting material. We need lots of cloth, rolls of cotton to send with the sewing machine. A sewing machine is very useful. It's a way of women gaining access to income. But when we provide the sewing machine or they buy the sewing machine, if we can give them some free material worth maybe half the price of the machine, they can recover most of their money very quickly. And that's very important, but we need somebody to do it for us. People could collect tools, they could help us by doing some fundraising. We have to pay rent, we don't have any regular income coming in. So it is quite difficult for a small organisation with a small base, mostly international volunteers who don't know how the structures work here, to do any fundraising. So, you know, there are some ways in which people can help. But, you know, if people want to come in, find out what we're doing. If they want us to go out and give a presentation, we can go out. That was one of our third elements in what the core activities of the organisation is to do educational work. So we go out and we give talks in schools or community groups. So if people want us to go to give a presentation, we can go and do that.